Ran Carog, Clavon, Canagri, Colum, Colmon, Colur, Pigeon, Car, Drid, Alla, Fuilon, Fiach Dov, Fushog.
Not long before this story began, the Irish Sea was a freshwater lake, and the first humans crossed a land bridge that was only a thin bar of ice from Britain. The sun raced over the icy hills of Ireland. And out of the melting water came maidenhair fern, sandwort, eyebright, fleabane, orchid, saxifrage, St. Patrick's cabbage, blue-eyed grass, a single strawberry tree, and salmon, with all of their names. There were gods and goddesses fading away with the ice and into the lakes, and the animals who became them. There were shepherds and slaves to take care of the cows and lambs. Many of the slaves were children. Into all this, a baby was born as a slave to her father. Her mother was a slave too and sent far away when her child was born. The baby Brigid vomited when her Druid father touched her. He promptly sent her off to Murroe, a lovely part of Limerick, to live with the Ryan clan. It was in Murroe that Brigid resisted every form of bullying and bondage, so her foster family let her run freely. Off to the oak woods she went. There she began her studies. She learned to read from the shapes of twigs and stones and rushing water,
lily pads and fish. She traced a map of the woods of Murroe on the shell of a turtle. She smeared dyes on her finger from lupin, bluebells, and violet, then wet them with a drop of dew into loops and circles.
She saw eyes in everything, and eternity in the lives of bees and songbirds. The blackbird sang ecstatic melodies in the evening, her chosen time. She felt she was always being observed and accompanied. When it was frosty, the day was pinched and dark, like the shadows inside a cloak. She made herself a cloak out of spider webs. Or was it frost? It could stretch all the way to the moon. She was a girl in a headscarf who lived like an animal in the safety of night and shadow. She followed the workhorse that carried the milk pails to the booley with her hand on his foreleg. Tribes inhabited the woodlands where she roamed, and she fled every male one of them coming through the trees. This Brigid lived in the 5th century when people were writing poetry and screeds. She had her special cave up a rocky hill overlooking a scummy river. There she hid. Her first dwelling was made of potatoes that rotted in the rain. Her second was made of turf and manure, but these two sank with damp into stinkholes. She promised herself she would build a solid house of stone when she had a gang of girls like herself to join her in the building. This was still the childhood of the world. Persephone and the nymphs and the yellow meadow had barely left our sphere of time. While Brigid was in the forest, a few monks and druids were writing poems and songs. She had only herself out of which to create a dozen thoughts. Out of Murroe and in a dark cave, she knocked out syllables, one by one, according to the new measures of time. Air was magic, whipping people away over the sea and land, never to be seen again. Brendan set sail on his raft, and Columkill wept, leaving Ireland, and disappeared. There were several Brigids by the time she was 10 and ready to leave Murroe. They multiplied through the shafts of air, one going one way, another going another, here and there around the countryside. All the Brigids were able to break through barriers of light and night to be in many towns at once. One put her finger in water and it became a well. One began as a rivulet and turned into an island shaped like a rabbit. One Brigid could not give up her love for butter, and another traveled on clouds to look for her mother. Another twisted straw into crosses, and another lived on beeswax and honey. One became honey, one became butter, one became a cloud, and another a mother. The child Brigid of Murroe lived off alone and slept on hay at night. She liked men called Patrick when they were monks and shepherds, but basically she was an original, an invisible girl. She still haunts a little grove of trees in Murroe, but only children know it.
Galvan, Uller, Lacha, an Londov, an Cheirseach.